guys, welcome back to another video that I have for you. Today we're going to be talking about pricing as a personal brand photographer. This is a widely discussed topic in a lot of Facebook groups, and you may be listening to this video, watching this video because you're at a point where you're like, I literally have nowhere to begin, no idea what to do when it comes to pricing as a personal brand photographer. So I'm going to go ahead and walk you through like a real life example in a super simple way for you to get started with pricing. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. If you can, go ahead and remember to subscribe to this video, go ahead and like it. Feel free to comment. You can check out more resources at thebrandphotographermethod.com. But let's go ahead and jump right into how you can think about pricing very simply. And I'm going to walk you through this real life example. So ready? Let's do it. All right. So let's say you want to make $50,000 a year. We're going to go ahead and break that down. So what I like to do is think about my sessions, which are either half day or full day sessions. And so what we need to do is really come up with a day rate, regardless if it's a half day session, because for me, my half day sessions are 4 hours. The likelihood of me booking a back-to-back 4-hour session in New England, in Boston, it's not going to happen. So even if I'm just shooting half a day, I consider that almost like a full day thing. So I need to make sure that I come up with a day rate, a minimum that I can charge, even if it's just a half day session. So taking our goal of $50,000 a year, now we need to reverse engineer how we're going to get to that number. So I always like to start off with identifying how many weeks you want to work. For me, I love vacation, so I like to take as much time off as possible. So I usually only work 48 weeks a year. I like to set aside at least 4 solid weeks for vacation. Sometimes we'll take more if we can, less, or maybe short weekends, but 48 weeks, that's my goal that I will work. And within that, I shoot once a week. I do have the course. It takes up a lot of time. I also like to leave days to edit. I like to leave days for content creation. So you want to take that into account of realistically, how much can you work? How long can you be away from your desk? The other thing is you want to consider is what's realistic for you to book. So are you capable? Do you have a volume of people ready to book you? Are you going to be shooting more than once a week? So for me, my goal is once a week. So it's really 48 sessions a year. And so from there, sorry, I have like a itch on my nose. So 48 days a year that I'm going to be shooting to meet that $50,000 goal. So let's go ahead and just do that simple math. Let's divide it. What does that equal out to? It's about 1,040. So 1040 that I need to make each day with each client. So even if it's a 4-hour session, that's the minimum I need to make. But that doesn't really account for anything else. We know there's expenses, we know there's taxes, all the things that go into making a business a reality. So let's assume you have $10,000 in expenses. That's probably a little high for photographers just starting out, but it's a nice round number, so let's go ahead and use it. So now we're going to add that $10,000 to our $50,000 goal. That's $60,000 a year, working 48 days a year. Let's do that math. Super simple. It's $1,250. So now we have to charge $1,250 or make that every single day to get to our $60,000 goal. So very simply, again, keeping in mind that this is regardless if it's a half day or full day session. So for me, what that looks like is I'm going to charge at least, if this were me, I'm going to charge at least $1,250, and then I'm going to go from there. So then my full day session, which, ranges anywhere from 6 to 8 hours, is going to be much higher than that. It's going to be a percentage higher than that. So which is almost like a bonus. I'm making more than my minimum, but you always want to make sure you're charging that minimum. So there's other things to consider though. Taxes. Let's see if we can quickly account for that. So I'm in the US. I'm going to be using a 30% rate, which is a safe number to use for taxes, but we have to think about how that factors into our goal. So what we're going to do is we're going to add that 30% rate to our $50,000 goal, because if we do it to the 60, we know that expenses are generally tax deductible. So we're thinking about taxes on the amount of our income that's basically non-tax deductible. So that's $50,000 a year times that 30% tax rate. That's about $15,000 in taxes that we have to pay. So we're going to add that to our $60,000. Now we're at $75,000 that we have to make, and that's about $1,560 that we need to make per session or per day, our day rate, to meet our goal of $50,000 a year, netting that 50, right? So again, I charge, if this were me, I would charge that for my half day rate and I would go up from there. So what I have for you guys in the shop is a calculator that actually does all of this for you and also goes into a little bit more detail on that rate. Then it'll give you your full day rate, and then it'll give you even your quarterly packages. Many of my clients like to shoot with me multiple times a year, so if you have a quarterly package, the pricing calculator is perfect for you to figure out what you should be charging for that. I like to keep pricing also all inclusive for my personal brand clients. If I found that for personal branding and smaller entrepreneurs tend to like to see that all inclusive price. And so what I'm talking about is not splitting out the photographer fee and the licensing fee. It's all bundled together for me. At this point, when it's a smaller brand, a personal brand, it doesn't really matter. If you are thinking about working with a larger commercial brand, that's where you might have to break out your fees because that's what they're typically used to for really large global or national commercial brands. But I typically don't work with those brands, so I like to keep it super simple. So the calculator is really great for those looking to working with small teams, small entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, personal brands, things like that. So don't forget to check it out in the shop. This is a super simple way for you to figure out your pricing, and hopefully it's helpful. And don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys in the next video.